Hello, Tungsten Miner here. I am starting a new project because I am tired of wandering all around the countryside trying to fill up my wand. So I'm going to make a wand recharging room. Let's jump in. Okay, first thing, what in the heck am I even talking about? Well, as it turns out, there is such a thing as a wand recharge pedestal. And what this allows you to do is to drop your wand on it, and it'll just hold your wand right where it is, as though you yourself were holding it in your hand, and allow any nearby nodes to charge up your wand. But of course, where would you put such a pedestal that it isn't near only one node? Those nodes don't appear very close by to each other. That's where these node stabilizers come in. So you remember in the last episode, I went and I found a node and I jarred it up and I brought it back home again, doing a little bit of damage to it so that I could have my own node in my base. Okay, well, I could go gather a whole bunch of nodes, jar them all up, bring them back home, and we're all good, right? Well, there's a slight problem in that I hurt some of those nodes. And in fact, you remember that node got a little bit damaged. It's not as powerful as it once was. And I'd really rather avoid that. So I have the option of doing this advanced node stabilization, but we can see this instability is dangerous. I'm not real sure my room is up for that quite yet. The other option is advanced node jarring, which I think... Oh, I've forgotten where it is. Let me find it here. Void jar, oblivion jar. No, not that either. Here it is, advanced node jarring. So the notion here is that if you use more expensive and more protective materials, you'll be able to jar up that node without hurting anything. But you'll notice, in order to make this mystical construct, I need a wand that has 125 of all of these different things. So what I really need to do is make myself some kind of new wand. And in fact, I could possibly make myself a staff. So that's actually the first step, I think, in this process, is to make myself a Silverwood staff. The other option, which I'm considering, is a Scepter. So we can see a Thalmium embossed Silverwood Scepter can store up to 150. This is actually super handy because while they can't be used for having wand foci on them, so you can't use them to cast spells basically, you're able to use them on a crafting bench. And so you can use all of that extra capacity on the crafting bench, the arcane workbench that is, to be able to make things. So I think this is actually the route I'm going to go to get things started. So I'm going to make myself a Silverwood Scepter. Okay, so first off, I'm going to need a Primal Amulet. That's this guy, Primal Charm. So I need one of each of all the different shards. I need a balance shard and I need some gold. Fortunately, I have been collecting these as I go along. Unfortunately, I do not have any balance shards anymore. Use them all up. So it looks like I have the most air shards, so I'll start with that. And I'll have to see what I can do about supplying the missing aspects in the form of, hopefully, crystals. See if I've got enough lying around. And I need 2 gold. Okay, so over here, easy enough. Air, fire, water, earth, order, entropy. Air, fire, water, earth, order, and entropy. And then I just need to turn this one to a balance shard. In you go. So, 2 of each of everything except air. That's interesting. Oh, I forgot to open those valves. Well, we'll just set those going right now. Okay, so now I don't need air. I've got 2 aqua, fortunately. 2 terra, no problem. 2 ignis, 2 ordo. And I don't think I have any Peridito. So I will need to come up with some of that. Fortunately, that is easily obtained from cobblestone. And in fact, I can put back my terra because I will also get 2 terra. And I've got a whole bottle of terra over there, so we're good. Okay. Oh, look at that. I've got Peridito already. Oh, looks like I was in the middle of something before. All right, well, let's see. I've got Peridito. I made a whole bunch. So we'll put that there. I've got terra. I've got a whole bunch more Peridito. Just kind of disorganized today, I guess. All right, not a problem. And we'll toss that one over there. And we're going to have to get rid of a bunch of stuff here. So we'll just let that finish draining off. All right, now let's get some of these things out of the way. Make sure I've got all the rest of the jars closed up. I was probably making a batch of Peridito for my arcane boar. That's probably what that's all about. Okay, all closed up, good. Let's get the Fammies out of there. Got extra room for more terra. We've got room for more Peridito. Yeah, I should probably be wearing these. Oh, I am wearing those. So I made myself a second pair just for this alchemy room. Okay, and I just need to get the messies out of the way. Oh, I've got something messed up here. Ah. So I had 2 open jars. That was creating conflicting amounts of pressure. Okay, so now we got that out of the way as well. All right, so I need now the rest of these, basically, and I don't have enough jars. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna drop you there because I don't need you. Drop you there because I don't need you either. I'm gonna pull most of both of those out. Perfect. Empty those 2. Now they're in the pipe system, and we'll start getting gobbled up there. Lovely. One there. One there. Okay. This one I'm going to take and plant back here so that it's accessible. So I've got 5 total. And now, finally, I toss these guys in. All right. To Ordo. 2 Ignis. Yeah, okay, well, we'll just make Aqua go over there. Close that up. Got that. And now we are ready. Okay. Ordo, Ignis, Terra, Aqua, and the Predators behind. Open all these up. Oops, I closed that one, huh? There we go. So it always goes in order. So you notice the Aqua's first. So when it couldn't get Aqua, it just paused the whole process, even though it could access all of the rest of them. Because you can see it creates suction on the entire pipe network of one kind of essence at once, each and every time. And that's my hungry chest gobbling it up for me. Okay, so we can shut things down here. Close up my different jars. Right, and collect my Pedestal, which I will toss right here. All good, and we'll just open these up, and we're all set. Okay, so Primal Charm on my way. And I need a wand. I think I'll use this one instead. Oh, I guess I won't, because I've already used up all the magic in it. Okay. Next step. I need Thalmium Caps, and I need a Silverwood rod. Silverwood rod. Yep, should have made more balance shards. And those come from balance shards too. So, all right, I'm going to go make the rest of these ingredients and be right back with you. Okay, as promised, I went off and gathered all of my materials for making that Silverwood Scepter rod. So, I have got 9 each, plus some extra, of each of the different primal aspects, plus a bunch of Percuntio. I've got a Silverwood log in the center. I've got one of each kind of shard balanced side to side around this whole thing. Plus in the place in the center, I've got a balanced shard, which means I am ready to kick this thing off. As always, keeping an eye on things, we can see there's a little bit of instability in those little lightning bolts, the purple ones near the center of the runic matrix. Not too bad, seems to be managing itself just fine, but this is a more dangerous kind of thing to do because there's so much more essence that needs to be drawn in from all over. So it's particularly important this time around that I be paying attention. Alright, it's got all the essences, it's starting to pull in the raw materials. Last one, and there we go. I've got my Silverwood rod. So, looking at this guy down here, this is listed as instability of moderate, and we can see we're just starting to see signs of problems. Nothing came up, didn't actually have any problems. So we know this setup here can handle moderate instability very well without running into any actual problems. So there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 around each corner. So 44 altogether. And then down here, I think I have close to 30 skulls. So something close to 70 stabilizing elements in that neighborhood. And yeah, really dangerous infusion. You want to have a heck of a lot more. But this is a good place to start for this. What we need to do now is get together these charged Thalmium Caps. These guys, you need some Salus Mundus, and you need an uncharged inert Thalmium Cap, which is just a little bit of Thalmium with some aspects, and you make all those on your arcane work table. So I think I'm short on a whole bunch of things. Let's go see what I need. Well, first of all, Salus Mundus comes from balanced shards, and you get 1 per shard. And I need 3, I need 9, and so I'm still, I made extras, but I'm still short. So I'll need to make some more of those. I'm pretty sure I'm short on Thalmium. Yeah, I've got 8 nuggets. I'm going to need a bunch more Thalmium. And I'm going to need, what else do I need? That's it for raw materials, but that wand and that wand, I don't think are going to have enough. So I need 3 of these, 18 of each of those. No, I'll have enough charge on my wands to manage this. Alright, so I'm going to go make some Thalmium, and I'm going to go make some more balanced shards. Be back with you in a moment. Okay, I think I have all the physical ingredients I need. So we made the Silverwood rod and the Primal Charm together. The Thalmium Caps, that's just these guys right here. You need some Thalmium nuggets, which come from making Thalmium ingots, which itself you make from the crucible. So I had a little extra Percantio, tossed in an iron nugget, got myself some Thalmium, and then crafted them into caps. But they need to be charged, so I needed some Salus Mundus, which is just breaking down a balanced shard using a furnace. So I made a bunch more shards and broke them all down, and now I've got as much Salus Mundus as I need. So that's it for physical ingredients, but there's one more thing we need to provide, which is, when we're charging these caps rather, I need some Aurum and I need some Potentia. So Aurum, one of the best sources, and I think maybe even the only source, is breaking down these little wisps of aura node that you collect, these ethereal essences. So if you find an aura node out in the world and you attack it as though it were a mob, it'll eventually break and it will drop a bunch of these things. And that's kind of your best and only source for Aurum. So I've gone out and I've broken a few of these things. I make it a point not to break ones that are useful. So I'll find ones that are not very powerful, that have not very useful aspects, and are generally kind of in an inconvenient location that I happen to find myself. But most especially, I'll break nodes that are hungry nodes. Those are the ones that pull in blocks from all around them and even can pull in the player and kill them. So I make it a point to try and get rid of those as much as possible. So now I've got my ethereal essences, and I'm going to toss them in here. And this is going to release the aspect that it's an essence for, plus a little bit of Aurum, which is, of course, what I'm actually after here. And I've picked ones because I've got a decent collection of these by now from having broken a bunch of hungry nodes that have aspects that I actually tend to use. So I'm not just stuffing my stores with useless aspects here. Okay, so once this empties itself out, so I've also put labels on my jars. Things were starting to get a little bit out of hand. And so I will just empty out all of these containers here. Okay. I was expecting that to have more stuff in it, but that's all right. And lastly, the aurum, which will need to go into an empty jar. All right. So, 1/2 of what I need is now available. The other is Percantio, and I need 3 times 12, 36. And I don't have remotely that much Percantio. So, Percantio, or Potentia rather, is most easily obtained from just coal or charcoal. So I'm gonna just make a whole pot of it. We've got some new players on the server here. He's evidently having a little bit of trouble with something. All right. In fact, I think I might label one of these jars Potentia, because that's another one that comes up a lot. Eventually, I will have jars on all of the open places on the tables, and I will have these valves above each and every one of them, so that by and large, I don't have to move things around so much. Okay, I think we're all done. We've got full tanks all around, and I should have an extra jar right there. So we'll grab Potentia from these two. Smack a label on it so I can find it again. I've kind of gotten to know the colors having played Thaumcraft enough, but eventually you start getting ones that have kind of similar colors. It gets a little tricky. Okay, lovely. And happily, I have an empty jar for Ignis. Of course, I've got a whole bunch of crystallized Ignis too, which I will use up eventually, but since I needed to get the Potentia anyway, okay. So now we've got more than enough Potentia, which I think means, just double checking here, for charging up all of these caps, I've got Salus Mundus, I've got the Thalmium Caps, I've got at least 18 and at least 36. More than 18, more than 36. Okay. Caps, Salus Mundus. So you can only do one thing at a time on these things. The pedestals themselves don't permit you to put more than one object. If I just click this again with another one, it just pulls it back off. Okay, so I need a wand. Fortunately, I always keep an extra wand over here because you also need this for adjusting your pipe network. So this will do just the one, and then I'll have to set up and run it through again to do the others. Whoa. Okay, I have apparently built up some flux in here. So I might want to give things a break. Ah, this fell off. Okay, well, that gives you an example of what can go wrong. I have evidently developed a little bit of flux in the course of doing this. So I'm going to grab a vis relay or two. Unfortunately, I have already made myself a flux scrubber. I forgot a pickaxe. Okay, so this can be 8 blocks away. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll put it about there, I think. No, can't see it. There we go. Hopefully this will reach far enough. Nope. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. About there. Okay. So we can see the little specks that jump into this thing every once in a while. That means it's trying to clean up any flux within 16 meters. I'm not sure that's actually within 16 meters. I've blocked my doorway. Fantastic. No. All right, let's go make another couple of Vis relays. So very quick. These things. Fortunately, I have another balanced shard. Made 1 extra. Perfect. And we'll toss that right there. We'll toss this right here. There we go. Seems like it's getting it. Yay. But I think some of the rest of it might have dissipated. So this is all coming from over here, which I set up to scrub any potential pollution from this thing. Not thinking, of course, that I might have overdone it a bit over here. So apparently my earlier statement that, oh, see, got just got the last one. Perfect. Well, those were handy. And that's recharging it. Okay. So, flux scrubber back in place. Good thing I had one to hand. Makes things kind of easy. And now we've cleaned up this room. Hopefully, we won't have any problems with doing our next one. But I might have actually used up more. Nope, okay, we're good. And grab that. Charge Thalmium Cap. Hooray. Do the next one and hope for better results. Okay, that was less dramatic. Good. And we'll do the last one. And at this point, I always double check that I have not miscounted somehow and wound up running out of Aurum. I needed 6 and I needed 12, so we're good. Uh-oh. Alright, I think we are in trouble. Alright, so I've got myself a case of flux flu. Not entirely sure what that means, but probably not good. I've obviously picked up a candle that used to be there. Need to get that scrubber back in here in a hurry. So evidently, I do not have as stable a setup as I had hoped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now for the scrubber. All right, so now that the exciting bit is over, we can kind of talk about what just happened here, I think. Evidently, there was a lot more instability in all this than I was expecting. This is moderate, and I ran a couple of moderate things in a row, and apparently that wasn't enough time for the ambient flux that built up to go away. And so I built up enough where I started getting some negative consequences, which is those lightning bolts that we saw. 2, we had a bunch of, we had a big pile of flux just start up on that platform there, and that knocked the Salus Mundus off the platform. The process then tried to start over again, and so it used up all of the aurum, but didn't have any extra to begin the process again. And so, yeah, so you can see it's pulling energy from that node, filling this up again. It didn't have enough to begin again, and so it got itself stuck. The process now was ongoing but incomplete. And when that happens, it gets more and more and more unstable. It just keeps building up more and more instability and generating flux and all sorts of other nasty effects. So yeah, real bad, potentially. The only thing to do at that point is to then knock the item off the central pedestal by right-clicking on it. That drops it back into your inventory. And I've got an inert Thalmium Cap. It used up 2 of my Salus Mundus. I got to go make some more and try the whole thing again. I'm probably going to leave this here for a while. Not only let it clean up the flux we can see, but hopefully clean up any other flux that might be in the atmosphere here. So, yep, got the last little bit of visible flux, but I'm just going to leave it for a while because obviously I have strained my setup and I need a bunch more of these candles and crystals and skulls underneath and whatnot to inhibit the buildup of flux while the operation is going on. So I'll be back with you once I've given things a chance to cool off. Okay, back again. It's been a little while. I have replenished my supply of aurum and potentia. I have made some more Salus Mundus and set it up on our different platforms. And I have the inert Thalmium Cap ready to go. Let's see how we do. I also made double the amount so that even if the process has to start completely over again, we should be fine. See? This time, no problems at all. Well, that's a lesson to you. There does have, a little bit of flux does build up in between, and apparently it takes some time to go away. So if you're doing a lot of crafting all at once on your infusion table, you need a lot more stabilization than if you're just doing the odd thing here or there and leaving it alone for a while. So we are now in position, I think, to go put this thing together. The one thing that I think is probably going to be a problem is that I doubt I have enough vis left in any of my wands to make the transformation, but we'll just go check. Primal Charm, Charged Caps, and Silverwood Wand. Sure enough. Needs 60 of everything, and I've got not anywhere near that much for any of them. So I'm going to go recharge this wand. Be right back with you. Okay, after having been off and doing a bunch of traveling, I have filled up my Thalmium wand, and I am ready to make my scepter. Ta-da! That's it. Very anticlimactic. In any case, though, now this thing is completely empty, and it needs to be filled up itself. So I am going to call it quits for now, and I will take care of that in between videos. And next time, I can actually get started with capturing some nodes to make my own wand recharging station here in my house. That's it for now. Talk to you later.